Aubrey. How's it going?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm really great. I love driving and I've gotten to drive to some beautiful places lately, like outside of Portland. And that's what's making me happy this week. Do you like driving?
I don't love driving, and it's really nice because my eldest daughter, she's 16, she just got her license. So now she can drive me everywhere, drive the kids everywhere, but it's kind of hard because she's
Nice.
really a slowpoke. She drives super slow, like under the speed limit, because she's nervous. She's nervous about the other cars. She's a new driver. I think
Well,
new
she
drivers
should.
always drive
Yeah.
slowly.
Oh, definitely. She should be a slowpoke. That's my worry. When like James is a teenager and they're all driving. So one of his friends is a couple years older, and he was over the other day, and he was like, Jess. He always calls me Jess. He's like this little 13-year-old kid. Jess, when I get my driver's license, is it okay if I drive James around? And I'm like panicking in my head because I'm like, oh my
Scary.
God, you're going to be a speed demon. And that is really scary. But yeah, I mean, I got to say yes.
I
Gotta let him
know. Yes,
fly the coop.
I picked up my daughter from a dance at the high school, and a young kid, drove so fast through the parking lot. He almost took people out. I'm like,
Oh my God,
oh,
that's
he's a speed demon, and
terrifying.
it's so scary. I'm like, you're in a parking lot. There are cars here.
That's
Drive
so
slowly.
dumb.
It's so
That's so
dumb.
scary when you see people just tearing through like a parking lot or even like a residential street, just like tearing through. And you're like, what if
What are you
I'm
doing?
just like walking my
Yeah.
dogs
Or if
and
my kid's ball goes in the street, so they run to grab it,
yeah,
they're not thinking about, ooh, make sure. And with electric vehicles being so silent, I keep telling my kids, you can't expect to hear a car. They're
I've
so
been
quiet
surprised by
now.
so
Yes,
many electric cars.
I know. I have surprised people in the Tesla. Someone will just walk right in front of me because they don't hear the car.
Yeah, exactly. So, guys, the reason we're having this lovely conversation about driving is we are talking about idioms for speed or lack of speed. Let's say pace idioms today. And
Yes.
of course, guys, driving would be the most obvious IELTS topic that we could use these phrases about. Aubrey and I fit in a lot. There was even a bonus phrase in there that I'll highlight in a minute. Um, but where else on IELTS? What other topics, speaking topics especially, could we use idioms about pace? I think
Oh,
work
so
and
many.
study to describe how
Yes.
quickly you're getting something done, right?
For sure, if you're asked maybe like a mistake or something you wish you could do better, I would for sure talk about
Yeah.
speaking too fast. I am always speaking too fast. People have to ask me to slow down. So I'm like, sorry, I'm a bit of a speed demon when I'm speaking.
When you get excited about something, Aubrey, you do speak like a mile a minute. It's
I'm
just,
sorry. You
I
guys can
love
slow
it.
down the podcast, right? I will try. I know.
But I don't think you do on the podcast as
I
much. I
hope
think
not.
we're mindful. We try to be
I try
mindful,
to be.
guys, of how quickly we are speaking or not speaking. So we have shown you in context a lot of the vocab we want to teach you today. So let's get to that vocab real fast. We know you guys love IELTS vocab. That's why we are doing 2 episodes on it this week. But if you want more vocab, don't forget to check out All Ears English, guys, our sister podcast. Vocab, culture, great ideas for speaking and writing, business English, so much great stuff over there. So wherever you're listening to us right now, search for All Ears English and hit follow, okay? Okay, so what's the first phrase we want to teach?
Yeah, so this is the first one I used on purpose. Slowpoke. Like my daughter drives slowly, I would call her a slowpoke. I'm not sure where this comes from. I don't know.
We're not
It's so
gonna.
cute though.
It's so cute. And I think if I try and make up a story about its origins, it would not be cute. So we're going to leave that one. We're just going to
Yeah.
leave that on the table. Okay. So, like, yeah, slowpoke. Oh my gosh, slowpokes drive me nuts, to be completely honest. Like walking,
Especially walking.
driving, I'm always I try to be so efficient with my time and maximize and multitask. You know what I mean? You do too. So if I'm walking somewhere, I want to get there. I have stuff to
Yes.
do. If I'm driving somewhere, this drives me bonkers. People in Portland drive so slow. They're
Oh
in the
no.
fast lane going under the speed limit.
No,
And I'm like,
no.
you guys, why are you all such slow pokes?
You would have such a hard time with my poor son, my 8-year-old, one of the twins. He is the slowest walker and he gets really distracted. He'll be like, a butterfly, a flower. So you have to hold his hand and like tug him along if you're in a hurry. He's
so
such a
cute.
slowpoke. It is really adorable.
Just something about kids. They like if they don't want to do something, they're all slowpoke. So
For
if
sure.
you have to describe children, you have to describe your children or cousins or something. Any kids in speaking part two, you could use this phrase to describe any child. When my son is getting out of the car, I don't know how he does this. It takes him like 10 minutes from the time the car is parked to actually being outside the car. And I don't know how is he such a slowpoke with such like a simple action?
You would be able to bond with my husband because he will pull up somewhere and then once we've stopped, then I like get my phone and put it in my purse and he's like, you knew we were parking. Like, couldn't you be ready to get out of the car? I'm like your son.
Aubrey's like my 11-year-old son in some ways.
Sometimes.
So the opposite of that phrase, guys, is speed demon. I love this phrase because even though I don't drive fast anymore, I love driving fast, you guys. It's so fun. I can be quite a speed demon when I want to be.
Yeah, for sure. Me too. That again with the Tesla, but it goes like 0 to 100 in like a second. And
Oh
so
my gosh,
at every
so
light,
fun.
if there's like a Ferrari next to me, I absolutely race them every time.
Awesome. Oh,
But
heck
then I'll only
yeah.
go to like the speed limit and I drop down and they keep going. But I usually win because they don't realize we're racing. I don't look like a race car, so they're not planning on racing. So
Okay.
I always win.
Here's my question. If the other person does not know they are participating in a competition, is it a competition?
Absolutely. All that matters is what's happening in my own mind.
So where else can we use this on IELTS? Speed demon. Again, anytime you're talking about how quickly you can or cannot get something done. So learning languages, finishing books, walking through museums.
Work,
If you don't like
chores.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah,
Anything you could get done
totally.
quickly. You could say, I'm a speed demon at that, like you were saying, because I want to get it done. I'm not wanting to drag it out, do it slowly and enjoy it. No, get it done.
That's the thing. Like, often if we don't like to do something, we can be done pretty fast, right?
Yes.
So when I'm doing chores around the home, I'm a speed demon. I just want to get that stuff
Absolutely.
done so I can go have fun. When I go to Costco to go grocery shopping, I'm a slowpoke because I love buying food.
Yes. I'm a speed demon with like hiking. If we're out, that's a really good example where my kids will want to go slow, and I'm like, let's get to the top. Let's get this done.
let's
So I'm
do
a little
this.
bit of a speed demon. Yes.
Okay, awesome. All right, we have two more for you guys. The next I use to describe the pace of Aubrey's speech when she's excited. And that's not just Aubrey. I do that too. What's that phrase we use, Aubrey?
Yeah, we say that you go a mile a minute, right?
Yeah.
So that'd be a great way for you, a fun native way for you to ask someone to slow down, to say, wow, you're speaking a mile a minute. Can you slow down, right? That'd be so fun.
I just thought of a great way to use this as a filler on IELTS. Okay, guys. So as I said, it's very common to speak quickly when we're nervous or excited. So I hear a lot of students doing this on IELTS, just speaking too fast because they're nervous. And that, of course, lowers the pronunciation score, lowers the fluency score usually, and can affect the vocab score because you're not giving yourself time to think. And that means you'll also make more mistakes affecting your grammar score. So if you start off just talking super fast and you're like nervous and or excited on the speaking exam, take a pause, take a second and be like, I apologize. I talk for a mile a minute when I'm excited. Let me go back. Let me rephrase, something like that.
So I want to make a note of this because you're thinking about something else while you talk. You threw in the preposition for, and we usually when we use this, we just say I talk a mile a minute. Is it the same for you? You said I talk for a mile a minute, and when we're driving, we say
Yeah.
I drove for a mile. But with this idiom, I usually hear it
Oh.
I talk a mile a minute without
That's
the for.
true.
Keep that in mind,
I guess
yeah.
we usually don't use that preposition, right? Good point. Yeah, so we can talk a mile a minute. We can also, our thoughts can be racing at a mile a minute. Do you ever use it like that to
Yes,
describe when
for
you're
sure.
just thinking too quickly?
Yep, I'll either say at a mile a minute or a mile a minute, but do be careful. I could totally see you guys wanting to say, I drove for a mile a minute, thinking fast, right? So be careful with the prepositions. You would just say, I was driving a mile a minute, and that means I was driving very fast.
I don't think we usually use this for physical actions, like moving.
It's usually more figurative. That's true.
Yeah, right? So I would use it to describe racing thoughts, racing hearts. My heart is beating a mile a minute right now. And speaking, I would
Yeah,
say.
that's true. Yeah, good point. That's true. Because it
Yeah.
would be kind of weird if you're talking about driving. People would think, do you mean literally? Like literally
That
you
would be
drove a mile in a minute?
confusing.
Yeah, we
That
wouldn't
would be
use it that way. Good
confusing.
point.
All right. Oh my God. I love how we're correcting each other. This is so fantastic. Okay.
It's funny because you don't usually notice until you hear something and you're like, wait, that
Right?
sounds wrong to me. Like
Yeah,
I'm saying, but
exactly.
wait, what's wrong there?
I have made so many fantastic English. I have had fantastic English epiphanies while we're talking on this,
Totally.
and also All Ears English, just like discovering it while you're thinking about it. I love it.
For
Okay.
sure.
Last idiom, guys, a need for speed. I think this is usually just for driving. Is there any other topic we could use this idiom for? It just means like, I really like to go fast.
Yes, if you have seen Top Gun, this might sound familiar.
Oh,
They say,
right.
I feel the need for speed. And it's about
forgot.
jets flying, right?
That's
and
true.
yeah, but I think you could talk about it if you are talking about being on a plane or something like traveling, and you could say like, oh, I just wanted to get there. It was a 15-hour flight and I had this need for speed, wishing the jet would go faster. I think you could use it that way.
Yeah, I think that works totally. I think that's appropriate. I think we could use this anytime you really want to get somewhere quickly.
Yes.
You know, like if you're telling a story and speaking part two, anytime you're describing traveling somewhere, taking a car somewhere, right? Just pretend you were going really fast or wanted to go fast and use this.
Totally. Just to
And-
fit in the idiom.
Exactly, exactly. Especially if you pretend to quote Top Gun, that would be really funny. I think that would be awesome.
I would love that. If I were the examiner listening and you guys quote Top Gun, I would be so happy.
So
That'd be
fun.
awesome.
All right, guys. So 4 idioms today: slowpoke, speed demon, a mile a minute, and need for speed. I told you I'd give you a bonus one I said earlier, talking about someone driving really, really fast, like a speed demon through the parking lot. I described that as tearing through the parking lot. So to tear through something, tear through the parking lot, tear down the street would be just to drive way too fast.
And we can use it for doing other things quickly. I remember
That's
last
true,
Christmas,
yeah.
the kids opened all their presents so fast. I was like, you're tearing through these presents. They're going to be all gone so fast. Just meant they were doing it so quickly.
Such great vocab today. All right, guys, remember you can learn more vocab immediately. There are thousands. A couple thousand All Ears English episodes, guys. So definitely type All Ears English into the search bar wherever you're listening to the podcast and start following them. 4 new episodes a week. Aubrey is often on there, and we know you love her. So hang out with Aubrey more often, and Lindsay and Michelle. If you're watching us on YouTube, guess what? All Ears English also has a YouTube channel. So search All Ears English and you'll find that. All right, Aubrey. Thanks
Don't
for
miss it,
chatting.
guys. So fun. We will see you over there, and we'll see you here next time. Bye, Jessica.
Sounds good. Bye.
Bye.